They have taken everything, your trust, your kindness, your very soul. And now, all that remains is rage. Amidst the silence, there is a whisper that never fades. Is this your end, or the beginning of something darker? Have you ever looked at yourself and felt a stranger to the reflection in the mirror? What is more painful than betrayal? Realizing that you have become something you despise? When the fire consumes everything, you have only two choices: become ashes or rise from the ruins. Then you are on the right path. Prepare yourself to watch this video until the very end. Within the silence, only the sound of my breath lingers. I stand before the mirror, gazing at my reflection. Yet, the face staring back at me is no longer familiar. Not a beacon of hope, but a wildfire of anger, raging without restraint. I am weary. Weary of being the ground they walk upon, unnoticed and unappreciated. Weary of being the light that guides, only to be discarded with the arrival of dawn. Faint laughter ripples through my mind, not a memory, but an echo of scorn. Mockery, betrayal, deception. My hands tremble, clenching into fists. They took all I gave, draining my kindness like a starving leech. I offered my heart, they tore it apart. I placed my trust, they shattered it. I sacrificed, and they repaid me with lies. My breath comes fast and sharp, my body tense, my vision clouded with fire. I reach for something. Anything. Perhaps an object. Perhaps just the weight of my own fury. Then I meet my own gaze in the mirror, no longer burning, just hollow, still, like embers fading into nothingness. And in that moment, a voice stirs, not from the world outside, but from the depths within. Soft, steady, yet carrying wounds unspoken. And then what? If I answer fire with fire, will it heal me? Will it quiet the storm within? I pause. My breath is still uneven, but the trembling lessens. My fists remain curled, yet my fingers begin to loosen, and a question rises. Is this truly what I seek? What now? Have I strayed too far? My reflection offers a faint, bitter smile, as if it has always known the answer long before I even asked. Fire that lashes out at the world only feeds the flames. But fire that devours itself is the first to fade. In silence, I look at myself, not just at my anger, but at what it has made me. At the shadow of something I once swore never to become. I inhale deeply, as though surfacing from a darkness that nearly consumed me. The room dims, the shadows dissolve, and now I stand alone, with nothing but my breath and a choice resting in my hands. Darkness. Then, a voice, not from my lips, but from the quietest part of my being. Am I still trapped in the same place? Drowning in resentment, chained by anger? Then perhaps I was meant to awaken. For in this vast universe, nothing is random. Everything unfolds as it must. The only question that remains, what will I choose now? If your heart is filled with the fire of anger, if revenge seems like the only solution, perhaps it's not by chance that you came across this video. The universe communicates in unexpected ways. And now, the real question isn't about getting back at others, but about finding the right path for your soul.
A call to the weary soul. In a world shimmering with false lights, we are taught that perfection is the goal, that our worth is measured by how the world perceives us. We smile for the screen, carefully curating our words, hiding our wounds behind crafted facades, hoping the world embraces the best version of us. Yet in the silence of the night, when the curtain of illusion falls, we stand face to face with our truest selves. We see the scars we have long concealed, the mistakes that haunt us, the imperfections we carry like burdens. How exhausting it is to chase a mirage, striving to become something we can never grasp. But listen, you are not your past mistakes. You are not the failures that once visited you. You are not the judgments the world has placed upon you. Perfection is not about never falling. It is about the courage to rise. True light does not come from hiding our flaws, but from embracing them. It radiates from a heart that dares to accept itself fully, its cracks, its wounds, its brilliance. End the war against yourself. Forgive yourself as you would forgive others. Release the weight of expectations that suffocate your spirit. Life is not about being flawless. It is about being whole. And wholeness begins with the bravery to love every part of yourself, even those you once rejected. Do not let illusion steal your freedom. Do not let fear silence your steps. You are stronger than you believe, more precious than the world tells you, and more deeply loved by the universe than you can ever imagine. Letting go of what no longer serves you. How often do we hold on to pain as if clinging to it could rewrite the past? We tend our wounds with devotion, replaying every word, every betrayal, every moment of heartbreak, allowing them to smolder like embers that slowly consume our souls. But are we not tired? Do we not realize that this burden is no longer ours to carry? Resentment, anger, and bitterness are invisible chains, binding us to what is already past. We think that withholding forgiveness grants us justice, but in truth, we are the ones imprisoned. But listen, forgiving does not mean forgetting. Forgiving does not mean excusing the hurt inflicted upon us. Forgiving is choosing freedom, choosing to no longer let the past steal our peace. Imagine your heart as the sky. Dark clouds may gather, bringing rain, bringing storms. But in time, the sky always clears. So too, are we not meant to dwell in sorrow forever? Release your grip. Release the weight you have carried for so long. Release your anger, for it only keeps you trapped in an endless cycle. Choose stillness over hatred. Choose peace over vengeance. And witness how your life begins to feel lighter. For letting go is not surrender. It is the truest form of victory. The path to freedom. Have you ever paused for a moment, gazed upon your own reflection, and accepted fully and without resistance that you, like every other being, are imperfect? We are taught to mask our flaws, to wear happiness like armor, to conceal our wounds beneath a carefully composed smile. We fear judgment, fear being seen as less than enough. But in chasing perfection, we distance ourselves from true peace. For the most painful yet liberating truth is this: no one is perfect. We have stumbled, we have hurt and been hurt, we have faltered in ways we wish we hadn't. But mistakes are not curses, they are lessons, stepping stones toward wisdom. Like a river that flows without demanding its waters always be clear, life too is a balance of murkiness and clarity, darkness and light. So why do we treat ourselves so harshly? Why do we so easily forgive others, yet deny ourselves the same grace? Learn to be gentle with yourself. When we embrace our imperfections, we soften toward others, realizing they too are learning, they too are trying. Judgment loosens its grip, and anger finds no place to linger. So today, allow yourself to breathe a little easier. Allow yourself to stumble and rise again without shame. Allow yourself to be fully human, fragile, strong, wounded, hopeful. For imperfection is not a weakness. It is the doorway to wisdom. The road to liberation. We spend so much of our lives trying to be the version of ourselves that the world will accept, hiding our flaws, concealing our wounds, striving to appear perfect in the eyes of others. But can we truly call it living if we are always wearing a mask? Authenticity is not about flawlessness. It is about the courage to stand in our truth, to make peace with our shadows, to keep walking forward even when our hearts have been bruised. When we release the burdens of the past, when we choose to forgive, not just others but also ourselves, that is where we find freedom. We are no longer bound by false expectations, no longer haunted by guilt or resentment. We begin to live, not to please the world, but to celebrate our existence as we are. No soul is created without purpose. Every wound, every mistake, every imperfection is part of the story that shapes us. And when we stop judging ourselves, we cease to judge the world. Release the pressure to be perfect. Free yourself from the illusions that confine you. Live with a light heart in the purity of your true essence. For the moment we dare to be ourselves, that is the moment we truly begin to live. May the universe walk beside us, for it is only in stillness that we find the lantern that lights our way. And may all beings find peace.